first live event.
Woohoo!
I'm going to bring up YouTube in a different channel just so that I can make sure that we're not missing anything. Because this is the first time we've done this, and it would be my luck that there's people chatting with us on YouTube and I'm not paying attention because I don't understand it.
This is true. This is true.
Because apparently I'm an old weirdo that doesn't understand technology.
I mean, that's what happens when you become over 40.
Rude.
Facts, though.
True. But also rude.
Yeah, it's okay. You know me.
All right. Well, we'll see.
Technically, I mean, we were born when the internet first came out.
We were born after the internet came out, let's be honest.
Best day was before. Let's just go there. Don't do that.
Where do you get that it was before?
It was after we were born. That's what I'm saying.
No, the internet, the internet was a thing before we were born. The internet was actually a thing in the '60s, because by your definition, well, maybe you're older than the internet.
Oh, in the 60s for real? Okay,
Yeah,
when did the household, like people in their houses, get internet? Yeah,
hang
you
on.
better.
I mean, I distinctly remember mid to late 1990s.
See, after we were born. Even though the internet may have been around, we didn't have access to it. So therefore, we had access to it after we were born.
Yeah, '93 it was government military universities. 95, 93 to 95 is when it became part of the process, and then 96 to 99 is when it full like mainstream stuff.
That's crazy. I just remember dial up.
Right?
It was so slow.
You know, what'd be cool is if I could play like music on this thing. I'm gonna have to learn how to do some of these
Oh, I thought you were
things.
about to start trying. I was like, oh, this is going to be fun. Let's see how this goes.
Yeah, I don't.
Don't try it. You know, we're going to go down this rabbit hole and you'll be like, I don't know what I did and I don't know how to shut it off. Really? You got sound effects?
I got sound effects.
How come I don't have sound effects?
I don't know. That's a good question. That's a really good question. But I'm glad that you don't, because you'd be sitting here throwing weird effects at us.
That's rude.
I know it's rude, but you were rude to me earlier, so
Wait, hold on. See, that's the bad part. God, people are gonna know I'm old and I can't see my screen.
yeah, I can't cut it out anymore. It's gonna be you're stuck with it now.
Oh God. See, that's the part. Okay, got it. I don't have sound effects. That's you know what? I guess I'm gonna just have to deal with it.
I mean, if you click on, do you see media on the side panel? Nope.
Nope.
Thank God.
You know what? I hate you.
You don't. You love me.
Yeah, you're like a hemorrhoid.
Uh, rude.
Facts though.
It just won't go away. So I don't know if you've been paying attention.
Pretend I have.
Oh God. So there's more. There's more that's coming out, right, on this. And there's been multiple angles. I think I shared all of them with you. But I gotta make sure I've got a video that I want to start off.
You
This.
know
Nope,
that our
that's not
audience
what I
have
want.
no idea what you're talking about. Like I do now, but when you first started, you're like, still remember like there's more that came out. Came out on what? Of about what?
Oh, hey, that's a good point. So the ICE murder of a civilian in Minneapolis, Minnesota, and we're not talking about. We don't even have an audience. Why am I repeating this for everyone? Um, the
Because it's still going to be posted, right? Even though we're live.
Yeah, that's true.
Mhm.
Um, but long story short, the incident um, with Alex, I think it's Alex Preddy, who was murdered by ICE yesterday. Um, so someone actually slowed down that footage that I sent to you,
Hmm.
and and they took a screenshot, and you can actually see a point where the agent is standing over a kneeling Preddy with his gun pointed at the back of Preddy's head before shots were fired.
That's crazy. Yeah, like I was looking at it and I was talking with James and Deanna about it. And I go, you know what? In my mind, like, it's almost as if, like, when the person, whoever that person is that came from behind him and turned around and all the agents kind of split from him, it's like when he turned around, he had a gun. And I don't know if it was the person's gun, if it was one of the agents' guns, whatever it is. But anyway, he had a gun, and then all of a sudden you hear a shot, and then it was like boom, 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 like a bunch of other shots. So I'm wondering, did that person that was had this gun and was turning around, did he accidentally discharge that weapon and cause a reaction to the agents, and the agents just went in full protective mode because they heard the shot?
Yeah, so what I'm talking about, that where he's on his knees, from what I can see with that still shot,
Hmm.
and we'll play that later on. I don't really want to go over it again. I don't want to play videos that are going to create triggers, but I do feel like we need to keep talking about this because this is an issue.
Hmm.
But from what I saw from the still was taken just before the first shot,
Hmm.
and it appears to be the guy that was standing over Preddy, um, in an executioner style manner, is the one that fired that first shot.
Gotcha. Do
Um,
you know, like, have they released like how many shots, like how many bullets he had on him?
the, the from everything that I've read, it's between 10 and 12.
It's fucking crazy.
The first one put him on the ground, and then they just continued to fire at him,
Gotcha.
which is great because like that's what our ICE agents should be doing. And then you have, you know what? I need to start this off with something funny, okay? Like that that's what we need to do. But I got to make sure that I've got the right.
We already started. You can't just segue and say nope.
I know, but you're like you're taking this. You're
Hey, thank
taking
you
me
very
off
much.
topic.
This is big stuff,
Oh no!
and we appreciate you being here. Late last
What
night
is this?
and early today,
This is the one
at
that
my
we
direction,
did
the United
first.
States Armed
But it's not
Forces
live. I don't understand.
conducted an
It won't
extraordinary
even
military
pause.
operation in the capital of Venezuela.
This is why Carl can't do
Overwhelming American military power, air, land, and sea, was
Go
used to
away.
launch a spectacular assault.
Well, I can't pause him
And it
either.
was an assault like people have not seen since World War II.
World War II.
It was a force against a heavily fortified military
I don't know how to
fortress
turn this thing off.
in the heart of Caracas.
I'm
bring-
very.
Stop. I'm gonna pee my pants.
Wow, that happened.
I know we did a recording the one time and you brought it up, and then like, which was a shock because you were like, "Oh, there it goes! I figured it out," and then now it just shows up again. Like,
I don't know where that came from.
oh my god,
That's
eyes are
great.
watering.
Okay, so I think this is.
Dig two. We'll see again. Nothing's happening.
I'm aware of that. Oh, here we go.
You're as cold as ice.
Yeah, so it's
You're willing to
literally
sacrifice.
a montage of ICE being owned by ICE.
Nice.
And it's great. I mean, because this is how we should be. Like, hey, it's comical, right? Like, make fun of these people who are doing asshat shit. And this is okay. This is funny. This is good stuff. The problem is that those individuals, they don't like being made fun of.
Really? They
They-
can't
they
find
don't.
humor in life?
I mean, you look at the majority of them. Most of them, if you look at the individuals, and this is just first and foremost, this is me just speculating, but it's also speculating based off of conversations that I have heard and had with individuals who are tied to DHS and Homeland Security. Most of these individuals who are now joining ICE are joining ICE. They're not going through the proper training. They're going through an abbreviated process. A large majority of them are joining because not because they agree with ICE mission or anything like that, but because it's $50,000 sign-on bonus, right? Funny thing about the $50,000 bonus is to these poor saps who think they're going to get $50,000 for joining. So the way that it works.
Doesn't it like break down kind of like the military? Like, oh, you get X amount this time, X amount this time.
Yes, but there's an added caveat to that. They have to serve a full 5 years before they even get their first allotment from the $50,000.
God bless. No, that's
Which means they're not going to make it through the end of this administration.
yeah. What a it's don't get me wrong, completely fucked up that they put this bonus and then they know that this agency is not going to be around come, within the 5 years. But smart on the businessman for figuring that shit out and be like, hey, listen, we can get all these people, but then, haha, funny thing, we're not going to pay them.
Which is going to cause problems. And then what'll happen? So here's the thing, right? Because people aren't acknowledging it, and because the bill that was passed that allowed these, it was in the Big Beautiful Bill.
What the hell's the Big Beautiful Bill?
So the Big Beautiful, the Big Beautiful Bill was a bill that was passed last year with Republican majorities and some Democrat crossover just because Democrats. But it was a Republican majority, and they passed this bill through the process of budget reconciliation. So they didn't need the 2/3 vote on the Senate side in order to pass the bill, right? I'm getting boring here. Long story short, it was passed in order to provide funding for certain programs of the president's infatuation.
Okay. Okay, so Big Beautiful Bill. Got it.
Yeah.
Just Google
So-
Big Beautiful Bill.
Yeah, and what's really funny about the Triple B is when it went through the House, because it went through 2 times, once from the House to the Senate, and then the Senate made some changes and sent it back to the House. Long story short, when it went through the House the first time, Marjorie Taylor Greene, who was then a representative and had the ability to vote, she voted yes for this thing, and then she read it.
I feel like that's what half the people do is like they vote and then they're like, oh, what did I just vote for?
She
let's
goes,
go find out.
she read it and then posted on on X, saying, had I read this and seen this before I voted, I would have voted no.
So let me ask you this. Do senators and House representatives, do they have people that read the bills for them to evaluate it, kind of like how the president does? Do they have people that break it down for them like Barney style and say, hey, this is what's in here, this is what's not?
I imagine they do, but I also imagine that they actually should probably read this shit.
Yeah. Well, I know this and you know this, but like, clearly they do not.
What I mean, Marge is one in a million, right? She's a special case. Um, she's definitely a different beast altogether. Matter of fact, um, in response to the ICE shootings, I'm going to pull it up here. Probably not try to show my screen because I'll probably end up showing the wrong screen, and you'll see like nothing bad, but like it'll hurt your head. Um,
Oh my God.
am I incriminating myself right now? I think I am.
I mean,
Um,
you might be. It's okay. Don't share your screen, but go ahead and pull it up. Sorry, my dogs are barking if you hear them.
yeah, I can hear him. It's fine. I mean, it happens all the time, right?
Yeah.
Um,
I have 5 dogs, in case any of you want to know. There's 5 of them. Beautiful babies.
I can't be blamed for this one.
Why can't you be blamed for it?
Well, because I didn't make you.
No, I went fishing and found 6 dogs.
Yeah, yeah. Uh-huh.
And then
That's exactly what happened on the side of the road.
Yeah.
So Marjorie Taylor Greene posted on X. She said, "I impeached Biden's Secretary of Homeland Security, Alejandro Mayorkas. Those are my articles of impeachment that pass in the House of Representatives. I unapologetically believe in border security and deporting criminal illegal aliens, and I support law enforcement. However, I also unapologetically support the Second Amendment. Legally carrying a firearm is not the same as brandishing a firearm. I support America's First and Fourth Amendment rights. There is nothing wrong with legally and peacefully protesting and videoing. MAGA considers it, she goes, MAGA, consider it like this. We lost our minds when we watched Biden's FBI track down and aggressively carry out home invasions and arrests on peaceful J6ers who walked in the Capitol through open doors." So, I mean, to be fair, she's altering history a little bit with that statement. But she goes, "Imagine if one of our MAGA independent journalists or even just a MAGA supporter stood in the street outside of J6's house while Biden's FBI carried out a law enforcement operation, home invasion, and arrest. Then Biden's FBI goes to the MAGA guy videoing all of it and shoves a woman with him to the ground, sprays him with bear spray, then throws the MAGA guy to the ground as the MAGA guy was trying to help the woman off the ground. Then Biden's FBI beats the MAGA guy on the ground, disarms the MAGA guy, and then shoots him dead. What would have been our reaction?"
Yeah. Yeah. I think in the whole scheme of things, I feel like there's so much tension between ICE and especially in Minnesota, especially because of what's happened within the last month with, the 2 shootings and deaths and everything. So, like, we have to de-escalate. Like, we really have to de-escalate situations, and we really need to pull, like, a great way, pull ICE out until everything is de-escalated. Like, you can't just imagine 2 sides that are opposing each other and nobody wants to budge or anything. So let's de-escalate the situation. It's clearly not a good situation there. So let's pull out, eliminate and, try to just eliminate the situation and de-escalate it, because right now what we're doing, it's not gonna, nothing good is gonna come out of this. It's gonna continue to happen. And because both sides are very, very triggered by the other side. And so, I can't imagine being a protester there and everything and seeing all these things going down on your homeland. But I also can't imagine being an ICE agent and having such hate towards you, even though it may not be you're the one that has done the shooting. You know what I mean? Like, if you're a law-abiding ICE agent and you just get so much hate because of the ones that are shit. It's kind of like, law enforcement, you never hear about the good that they're doing, but you will hear about all the bad. So I think that they just need to de-escalate it, honestly.
So the problem is that they're not, right, and that is the number one foundational issue, is that is not what they're doing. They're actually, they being ICE is actually aggressively upping the ante, right? I mean, you look at this. This happened. This right here happened. I want to say sometime last week, where ICE agents grabbed this 5-year-old Minnesota boy, and I don't know, Vanessa, are you able to see it?
Yeah, I see it. It's superintendent says Liam was with his father were taken into custody, and his father. So it wasn't just okay.
So actually, so what happened, right, is they took the kid, and then used the kid to lure the dad out, and then arrested the father and took both to Texas and put them into a holding center in Texas.
What a scary thing for that little 5-year-old. Like, no, that's just. I mean, I've told you before. It comes from. Like, do I think people? We've talked about it. I do think that we should go through the proper procedures and everything for becoming a citizen and everything. And I do believe that we need to deport people that are not legal and maybe have been here extended past their visa or whatever it may be. However, the execution of this is absolutely fucking atrocious. Like, the execution, poorly executed. So maybe pull back, regroup, and figure out how to do this better.
Well, that would be an argument if we were talking about a logical, focused and non-aggressive, non-hostile political group of individuals.
Well, let me ask you this, because this always comes to question in my mind. So the illegal immigrants that are behind bars and are in the jail systems, have we deported them?
No.
Why didn't we start there?
Because they're serving time.
I don't give a shit what they're serving. I don't want to continue like, they're illegal. They're in jail. Our tax money's going to them. Isn't this exactly what we were saying we didn't want? That's why we wanted to get rid of them, because of the taxes that are going to them and we're paying for them. So why not get rid of criminals in the prison system first before we go to the law-abiding citizens that are law-abiding? I don't even know what to call them, but the law-abiding people. Instead of going after them, why don't you go after the ones in prison?
Well, because those are the low-hanging fruit, right? So the issue is that if the Trump administration were to go after the criminals who are behind bars, right? Mm-hmm. Would we see it?
No, they want to. No, but
it wouldn't get the coverage. It wouldn't get the points. It wouldn't hit the algorithm, and so as a result, this is what we'd end up with.
But so then why? So basically, they just want to show that they're doing stuff, and that, but they're doing it in such a way that it's causing such mayhem and everything. And like, I was talking with James yesterday, and I was like, I just have a question. And he's like, yeah. I was like, and maybe you can't answer it, but like, the states are allowed to deploy the National Guard. What is stopping Minnesota from deploying the National Guard, saying, hey, we need you to set up in the front of the protesters, make a line, and protect the protesters from the ICE agents, and basically be the line between the two? You know what I mean? Like, so that they can still have their protests. ICE can still be ICE, I guess, but at least they're protecting their citizens. But why won't Minnesota do that?
Well, because of the exact same thing that you were just talking about, right? Like, you want ICE to back off and allow things to calm down, right? Mm-hmm. You want the ability for everyone to readjust this and reassess this and figure out how to cool tempers and cool tensions before things get out of hand, and one side does something that the other side doesn't, or that one side does something that they're going to regret, right, at the end of the day, right?
Yeah.
What we don't want to have is something that is the sparking of a civil war. However, after this recent incident in Minneapolis, there's your answer. Waltz has activated the National Guard after the man was killed, after that man was murdered, Alex
Okay.
Petty, on the streets of Minneapolis.
Okay. So he did activate them.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And that's, I mean, that's par for the course, right? And so
So at that point, what happens? You know, like you've activated this against basically to protect the citizens. What can be done? Like Trump can't do anything because they were like, he can't punish Minnesota for activating it against I guess it's not against ICE. It's what is like, because I feel like you.
so it's a really fine line, right? It's an extremely fine line, because what Waltz can't do is activate the National Guard in order to prevent or stop ICE from enforcing immigration and customs law, right? Because of the supremacy clause of the Constitution. However, Waltz can use the National Guard to step in and be that barrier between the people and ICE officials. It's a fine line to walk, because there's going to become a point where, are those ICE officials actively aiding and supporting ICE in as they conduct their criminal actions on the ground, or is ICE actively defending protesters against the actions of a federal agency as it enforces the law? So it's like a really fine tightrope line that they have to walk,
Right.
and so it's going to be tricky, right? It's going to be extremely tricky, and what we have to do is wait and see. Can Trump do things? Absolutely. If the National Guard appears to be impeding ICE operations, Trump can send in federal forces to arrest Waltz.
Okay. Now, these these National Guard members that have been deployed in Minnesota, if because they fall under technically, you know, the president is their commander in chief.
No,
Oh, he's not.
National Guard units are not. Their commander in chief is the governor of the state,
Okay. So they can't.
not the president.
Okay.
The president doesn't become commander in chief until the president activates the National Guard, and that has to be done through approval of the governor.
Gotcha. So
Right
there's
now,
nothing that-
can they? Are there ways for them to do it? Yes, but if the governor doesn't like what they're doing, can the governor stop them? Yes. It's one of those. It's complicated situations.
Gotcha. Okay, because I just didn't know if the Trump administration decided, hey, let's go against you know, all this unit of the National Guard who was deployed, and now they're all getting court-martialed or whatever it is. Like I don't want to see something like that happen, because they're literally just doing their job at this point, because that's what they were told to do. So I don't know. It's just it's going to be interesting to see how that plays out, and I really think that we really just need to de-escalate and find a better way to.
But see, that's what Waltz was trying to do by delaying the deployment of the National Guard. Right? Like, he was actively trying to delay and reduce tensions by not putting more forces on the ground. But Minneapolis is going to burn. I mean, there have been nothing but protests. I mean, wall-to-wall protests down the streets throughout the city of Minneapolis since the incident occurred yesterday.
I'd imagine it's going to. I mean, it was years ago, and they wanted, weren't they the state, if I'm not mistaken, that wanted to defund the police?
So, no and yes.
Well, that's what?
So there was a lot of misinformation being pushed about what people were trying to do, and I really don't understand why my camera keeps doing the zoom in and out thing, like it's trying to like make me look like I'm emphasizing something.
Right.
It's getting really annoying, and
It's okay. Just let it happen.
yeah, I don't even know how to fix it right now.
That's all right. So, yep, answer my question. Well, you said yes and no.
So bottom line is that there was a lot of misinformation going around. It wasn't that people wanted to defund the police, like defund the fucking police, like they wanted to defund the police. They didn't want to take funding away from the police and like make it magically go somewhere else. What they wanted was for the police funding that was designated for response to certain incidents that were like mental health issues or areas to that effect that could have been handled by non-armed enforcement, like individuals who are skilled in the psychiatric support process. They wanted funding to go to them. So essentially what they wanted to do is they wanted to set up a process by which if a law enforcement officer was deployed or sent to a situation, that one of these advisors went along with them. Because what was being found is that oftentimes incidents where police officers resorted to the use of force involved individuals who are mentally unstable
Gotcha.
or on drugs or drunk, right? And those usually wound up becoming high tension situations that resulted in the police officer fatally killing the individual that they were responding to.
Gotcha. Okay, so that's what they wanted. Okay, I can see that.
It wasn't we're gonna defund the police because we don't think police should exist.
Right.
It was we're gonna defund the police because the police are not equipped to handle every situation.
Okay. Well, I mean, I can understand that part of it, not being equipped. I don't know. I don't know what the answer is or how to fix it. I know that we really do need to, as a country, that we need to lessen the tension because right now the tension's so bad. Both sides are fighting. Both sides are mad at the other side and vice versa, and it's just like, okay, let's de-escalate. Let's pull back. Let's regroup. This is not working. Clearly it's not working. You have people that are, it's not a good system that you have implemented. So let's pull it out. Let's regroup. Let's reevaluate what were the goods, what were the bads, how can we do better? What can we do that would make this better? And I think, pulling back is actually probably really important and, a very smart business opportunity to do. And I've always told you, I've always felt, and you tell me all the time, no, but I've always felt that this country needs to be ran like a business. And you're like, no, it doesn't. It's a country.
Right. So here's the thing, right? Everyone says, oh, well, when I hear that argument, this is what comes to mind, right? Everyone that says that automatically what pops up is, oh, we need to make good business choices and we need to do investments and we need to do this and we need to do that. And you're right, but there's a process, right? Who runs the country?
Technically we do as the people.
Nope. Who at the federal level, which branch runs the country?
The presidential branch, right?
Okay. Is the executive branch in charge of the legislative branch?
Why do you ask me these hard questions? Like I know the answer.
I mean, this is a simple 12th grade civics question.
Listen, okay.
If you made it through high school, you know the answer to this question.
Yes.
No.
I hate you. Just give me the damn answers. Stop with this. Like, let me ask you a question. No, like, I do not. You know this. Okay, for everybody out there, since this is going to be posted, I just thought you should know. 1, I am not into politics. 2, I hate world history. So when I come in and talk to Carl about this stuff, it's more or less I'm coming to him as if like I have no idea what's going on because partway I have no idea what's going on, and give him those questions that I have, that I feel like most in the US are going to have as well. And I shoot it to Carl because he does a lot of research, and everything. So to me, it's like I can get my answers from him and he can get the questions from somebody who really doesn't understand how our government works. So I hope that
Right.
explains.
I mean, and to your point, I mean, so my next two questions are in line with basic Americans and the general understanding of our government.
Okay.
Who is Mariah Carey?
Who was she or who is she?
Who is she?
She's a singer.
Ah, okay. So Mariah Carey is a singer. Can you name one song that she sings?
Mariah Carey?
Yes.
No, honestly, I have no idea what song
What?
she sings.
Okay. What season is she most linked to? She usually starts thawing out after Halloween.
Oh, are you talking about Christmas?
Aha. All I want for Christmas is you,
Oh,
right?
you wrote that song?
Well, she didn't write that song, but she sang it,
Oh,
right?
I never liked
Either
Mariah.
way, okay. So this is you're killing my linkage.
Your point? I'm sorry. I didn't listen to give me somebody else.
Name someone. Name a singer that you like.
Kane Brown.
Kane Brown. What songs did he sing?
Hometown, Rodeo,
What
Short
genre
Skirt.
is he? What genre?
Country.
Okay. Can you describe what he looks like?
Yeah, he's hot.
Okay. Who's Greg Murphy?
You've talked about him. He's the governor of North Carolina. He is not the governor of North Carolina. Okay.
No, he is yours and my congressional representative.
Oh, so he's something in the government. I nailed it.
You didn't even. You shot at the broadside of a barn and you clipped it. Like,
Hey, at least I clipped it.
I'm not going to give that one to you. No, fail. But that's my point, right? Most people will be able to speak to a pop artist or a football team or any sports team, for that matter, and be able to rattle off all these things. But when it comes to talking about their government, no impact,
They
no
don't know.
idea. And
You want to know why?
that is the problem.
Right. I will say, I think that the reason why, honestly, is because they're boring. Like politics and all that, it's boring. It's a very dry subject. There's nothing really fun and exciting about it. And I think that I don't know how to make it better. Like if there are people that are really into it, that really enjoy it. So yeah, like you really enjoy it. So therefore, I love that so you raised your hand and your phone zoomed in. I was like, yes, he's into it. But it's kind of like anything that if somebody's into something, they're going to research about it. They're going to find out about it. Different things like that. So, it's kind of like, do you know the ins and outs of the anatomy and physiology? Do you like anatomy and physiology? Do you want to know how your cells grow? If it doesn't fascinate you, you're not going to look at it. You're not going to find it. So I don't know how to make people interested in politics that maybe are not. But I do think that politics are something that, we do need to educate ourselves on 100%. Yes, I know, because it affects every aspect of our lives. I totally get it. But I think that people do find it boring, and therefore they're like, we want to be entertained. And I think that's why I think the only time I've ever in my life watched a debate was I think last year. I think that was the first time I ever watched a debate, honestly, because I was like I was like, I want to know. The shit show is about to happen. Let's see how this goes. Because it was, to me, it was entertaining. It was more or less like I wasn't watching it to find out their stance on things. I was watching it for the entertainment value. And
Hmm.
I know that's not a right thing to do, but I'm an honest person and that's what I did.
I mean, I don't imagine that it's a wrong thing to do either, right? Like, I would very much prefer that you're at least trying, right? Like,
Hmm.
I would prefer that you're making an effort to 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 know what's going on and to understand what's going on. I think I fixed the Zoom thing, um, but
Woo!
I love that
Spirit.
our first episode is full of this nonsense. Um, but so we can't make it fun. I lost my train of thought.
Why can't we make it fun?
We can't make it fun because it's not.
I
It,
just
it
thought
really isn't,
you
right?
did not
Like
with
you,
Zoom.
you you talk. I thought I did. You talk about, oh well, we want to be entertained. Well, guess what? Like, what's more entertaining? Seeing, um, oh, you said that coming in. I would prefer that you watch the debates and use the news, no matter how it is, right? If you're going to watch the debates because you're looking for that entertainment value, at some point you're going to get the information.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it makes
Um, Whereas if you are just saying, nah, screw it, I don't want to watch it, you know what I mean? I don't think that we can turn politics into something that is super sexy, right? It's just it is not a sexy thing, right?
right.
Um, and so at the end of the day, what we have to do is make a we have to get buy-in from the people.
Hmm.
And so we as the voters need to understand that what is happening on Capitol Hill is important. But more importantly, what is happening in our local
Government is even more.
areas, in our local governments, that is the most important. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I would prefer that you don't give two flying shits about the presidential debates, but you go to your town halls or watch them online because they do get posted online for the most part.
Okay.
And that's a direct result of COVID.
Town halls. Let me ask you this, okay? Because I don't know. Um, are they held like monthly?
It
Are they
depends on the city.
okay? And are they held at like the courthouse?
It depends on the city.
Oh Jesus.
I think depending on the size of the city is going to determine um, whether or not the or where the location is or how many times they meet. And sometimes you have larger cities where you have city council members and they have a city council meeting, and there's bureau or borough councils or neighborhood councils, and those neighborhood councils meet at different times because of the largeness of the city. But I mean, that's something that you can easily find out just by visiting your city's website and saying, hey, um, tell me about this.
Okay, that's interesting. I'll be honest with you. I didn't know you could attend those until you told me that you were attending your town hall meeting. I thought it was like invitation only. Like you needed to be someone important to go to these things.
No, no. If you are a citizen of your city, you are important and you deserve to go.
Well, see, now I learned something new, like
Hmm.
through you. So if you know you want to know what's going on in your town, definitely look it up and see and go attend one of those things because you'll be shocked some of the stuff that they vote on and what they are talking about and everything. And it's interesting. Like I think I found out from my friends that they were running a business here, and our town or our county in North Carolina that if you have a liquor license, you have to have a pool table.
Such a
Like,
weird law.
right? Like, what if you don't? What if it's that's not the genre you were going for? Like, you don't want people to play pool. Like, why do you have to have a pool table just because you sell liquor? Like, what if it's a dart place? What if it's an axe throwing place? Like, what if it's all this other stuff? Like, so you can. I think they need to revisit that but it's interesting to find out these things.
Yeah, that is such a weird law. We are coming up on the end of the recording time that we budgeted. So what I want to do is I want to present our new app, the Archivist. It is a web app. It The effort here is to make it so that the end user, the American people, have easy access to the information that is readily available to them on different like .gov websites, right? I mean, just compare this. So, for example, this is the Archivist right here. It the overview shows you basic like what's going on in Congress this week, last week, month to date, the current session. And for those of you who don't know, sessions are year-based, so every Congress has 2 sessions because the Congress changes when the House, the midterm elections occur, because the House of Representatives could potentially change every 2 years completely. So they have a new Congress, and that's how the process goes. So we are in the 119th second session, which means we're in the 119th Congress, second session. And so if you look at this, there you can see in the app that the House is currently in state work, the Senate is in state work. You can see what their votes are as far as their current session, previous session. I mean, if you look at last session, the House introduced 8,000 new bills.
That's crazy. How many were
Senate
passed?
introduced 4,000 new bills, and they only passed 68.
Jesus Christ.
Those 68 became law. So out of those thousands, right? So out of 12,000, 68 became law. But that's typical and that's par for the course.
What are
They had 362 votes in the House, 659 in the Senate. Now, to be fair, the Senate bills pass is a lot higher than the House bills pass because we need to work on the app to kind of like design it a little bit better to account for the Senate having to vote for like confirmations and stuff like that. So that'll eventually come down the road. But what I wanted to do is I wanted to compare and contrast, right? So if you go to congress.gov, which is where a lot of this information is being pulled from, this is what the congress.gov home site looks like.
Yeah, that's crystal clear.
Right, it's very opaque. You have to kind of know what you're looking for. So we're in the process of designing the Archivist to be a lot easier to see and understand. And then at the end of at the bottom of the overview page, you've got the committee events. Now, before I go any further, folks, just keep in mind, right now the Archivist is in a beta testing process. What that means is that we're only opening it up for use by individuals who actually want to go in and use it, break it, find the problems, and let us know what those problems are so that we can tailor them and fix them. We're already ahead of schedule because the beta process wasn't supposed to be rolled out until mid-month of February, but now we're rolling it out before February. So hopefully in the next couple of weeks, we'll be able to set up a process in a time to allow us to actually push this out to the general public. But for now, if you go to archivist.cranboxpolitics.com, you'll be prompted with a sign-in form. And below that sign-in area, you'll have the ability to request access. I'm not really screening it, but I am kind of screening it. I need to make sure that we're going to have people who are actively using it. But it breaks it down. And I mean, it's not perfect. It's slow, right? You just saw how I clicked on the bills and it took a little bit of time. But this is because it's loading all of the bills. You can see the different bills that got brought up. And when you click on a bill, this is what it looks like. Pretty simple, easy to understand, easy to digest. Mm-hmm. And if you, latest summary text versions, again, this is based on congress.gov. And so if it's not in congress.gov, it's not going to show up. But the idea here is to make it easy and usable, so that you can actually see it. The big piece for me, and I guess the big win, is the member section, right? So if we look for, say, Mace, right, and we look up good old Nancy Mace. Hey, look, I found a bug.
What? Yeah, you did not look. I was like, it did not change.
It did not. So we'll just go to watch. This doesn't work either.
Oh yeah.
There we go. So Nancy Mace, right? She is a representative that is from the good state of South Carolina. She's currently in her last year as a representative because she is running for governor of South Carolina. But essentially, if you want to see what your representative has been up to, and you want to know what your representative is doing, you kind of want to see a general report card. You can see it right here just by going to the member section and pulling up your representative. And you can see that, this session, she's introduced 4 bills already, which is above the average of 2. She's co-sponsored 3, which is below the average of 6. She's made 45 votes out of 48, which is below the average of 46. And she missed 3, which is below the average of 1. So you can kind of see how she's doing. If we look at the previous session,
Mm-hmm.
she was pretty decent, right? She actually she did a fairly decent job of representing her people. Now, she was below average on missing votes, but again, she's within that range. I mean, if I were to pull up Greg Murphy, the story would be a much different story. And what I plan to do with this over the course of the next couple of weeks is kind of bring out, and we're going to talk about these representatives and what they're doing and how they're doing it, in a way that allows us to interact with you, the viewers, so that you're able to understand what we're seeing in the way that things are going. Wow, that took a lot less time than I planned on it taking.
No, and I think it's honestly when you gave it to me and I could go in there and just like click around and everything. It's interesting to see, like, that's a lot of bills. Like, let's just be quite honest. Like, they put a lot out. If they've only approved, what do you say, like 67 of the
The president has only signed 68 into law.
Okay. So what happens to the other ones?
So they'll sit, and I mean, they get assigned to committees, and committees will review them, and sometimes they'll make it to the floor, sometimes they won't. A lot of it depends on the House Speaker and the party that's in control of the chamber. If the party that's in control of the chamber doesn't want to bring it to the floor because they don't think they have the votes to either A, defeat it, or B, pass it, then they will just kind of let it die.
Gotcha. So do they just put, like, your representative, do they just put like bills into play that have to do with your state, or is it a general of all the states?
In a perfect world, they introduce bills and legislation that apply to the bettering of their constituents.
Okay.
In a perfect world.
Right.
However, that is not, we don't live in a perfect world. And so what our representatives do is a lot of times they introduce legislation that applies to everyone. I mean, Marjorie Taylor Greene introduced legislation that was an effort to prevent the transitioning of minors, for minors who identified as transgender.
For the whole country
For the whole country.
Instead of just her state. Because
Yes.
if her state wants it, I mean, like,
Well, that would go through their state legislation and the state process,
not the federal level.
not
Okay.
the federal level, right? So anything and everything that's written by our representatives in Congress is going to impact the federal and all states, right?
Okay.
But at the end of the day, they do have a little bit more power over kind of every American's life, but they still should be watching out for their specific constituents.
Okay.
I mean, you look at Greg Murphy, and I'm not going to bring his profile up, but Greg Murphy has missed nearly every single vote this year. Now he has a decent excuse. He was out because he had surgery in December. But
So you can't vote. You can't vote for surgery. Like I feel like you could be on your phone.
No, so the rules of Congress are that you have to be on the floor to vote.
Gotcha. What did he have surgery on that he was out this long?
I don't know. He didn't
Disclose
specify.
this information.
But
Any of us know that if you go out on surgery, most of it's like a week and a half, and you better get your ass back to work or you don't have a job.
yeah, but he's a doctor, and doctors are the worst patients. So I mean, there is that. But again, he busted his ass to be at a hearing that was there to I'm losing my train of thought. He went to a hearing that was there to question the health insurance agencies. And he got a whole bunch of props for getting up there and telling the insurance agencies that, if he had it his way, insurance companies would be turned into dust and they would be put out of business because all they do is rip off the American people. It's like, hey, I agree with you, Greg Murphy, on this one specific topic. But where the fuck were you for the last 30 days?
Yeah.
Right? If you wanted to put your money where your mouth was, you would have showed up on day one when the vote to extend the ACA subsidies were put into effect.
So do you think
you would have voted for that, but instead you were out and you didn't vote for that. So the question is, were you just there to get fucking fame at the hearing, or do you actually care about your people?
Right. Like, do you think that he went there because he is a doctor and, insurance companies directly affect his payment from the insurance company, and they can come back and just say, hey, we don't agree with this, so we're not paying you. So do you think that's why he showed up?
That's 100% likely. But again, it's a hearing, right? So it had zero impact on what actually is happening.
Right.
All it did, honestly, hearings are kind of one of those things where sometimes you can watch a fiery one. You talk about entertainment, like watch the House Oversight Committee. And you will be entertained. I can guarantee you will be entertained if you watch the House Oversight Committee, because there are people like Jasmine Crockett and Nancy Mace who get on there and they just go back and forth. So, I mean, at the end of the day, that's kind of the way that it works. But those hearings are just for getting snippets. They don't really do anything.
Okay.
Like the Jack Smith hearing that happened last week that we didn't have time to talk about.
Gotcha. Oh, you're plugged in. Why are you not working? Apparently my battery's about to die.
Just in the nick of time, because we got 2 minutes left. Well, folks, I hope you were able to join in and watch the show. If you were not, we are now going to be turning the weekly into a live show every Sunday at 3 p.m. So make sure that you tune in. We are going to make sure that this gets into the voice form, the audio form for podcasting, but the unedited version of all of our gaffes and everything, it's going to be right here on YouTube for all to see. So until next week, folks, I'm Carl, host, founder of Crambox Politics.
And I'm Vanessa, his best friend.
My best friend in the entire world. Thank you for watching, and we'll catch you next week.
Bye. Did you like my spirit fingers?